get into the papers. It looks like you have all of the papers this morning.
I'll start with the Independent newspaper. They say fair, firm and balanced. NPP delegates poll shows Kennedy Acheampong in commanding lead as Bawumia suffers decline. It comes to the picture of Kennedy Acheampong, and I'm sure this is coming from an event yesterday.
You were there.
Yes, I was.
You were there
by a researcher.
Yeah, is it Dia?
Yes,
Mr. Dr. Dia, Dr. Kusi Dia. There are many who've asked about the authenticity of this report, whether or not this leans to one side or the other. Because you were there, I think you best speak to this and all of the matters that came from there.
This researcher in question, he was once a parliamentary aspirant on the ticket of the NPP in the Acheampong constituency, but he did not win. So
he contested the primaries,
but
did
NPP.
not win.
Yes, but did not win. So that is established. That he also knows it, and then he defends it whenever it comes up. He says he's an interested party because he's a member of the NPP. Now he wants to make a decision, but he's an academic, so he wants to use the knowledge he has in research to do the research to find what is best for him. And it comes out that the research he has conducted, there was the first one in August, and this is between the month of September and October 5. And that is the findings that he is giving to us, that Kennedy Acheampong has commanding lead in the NPP primaries.
But that has not that's not forced him or pushed him into one side.
He says, it's too early. He still wants to
run a few polls.
Another poll, so that he'll be able to make a concrete decision. When he did it in August, it was Kennedy Acheampong who was still leading. And now he has done it in the month of September.
So he's waiting for the final one, which will make him decide.
Yes, then he'll be able to make a decision. He says, so he did the poll in twos. There's a way they call it. And then Kennedy Acheampong has 44.1% of the delegate support, and that is in the worst case scenario. But in the best case scenario, it is 53.8% in the best case scenario. That's according to the survey by Dr. Dia, conducted between September 22 and October 5. The research is also putting Vice President Dr. Bawumia in second place with between 32.2% and 39.5% in the worst case scenario. Acheampong is third, between 6.3 worst case and then 8.3, and then Ofori-Atta and Acheampong, they follow with modest gains, polling 3.2 and 0.9 respectively. So it's still emphatic that it is a two-horse race between Bawumia and then Kennedy Acheampong. The research also, he spoke about the regions. So as of September, as of the time the research was conducted, this is how the regional representation looks like. Kennedy Acheampong, according to the best case scenario, is winning about 11 of the regions. Kennedy Acheampong, in the best case scenario, is winning 11, or according to the data, has won 11 of the regions. In the worst case scenario, 9 of the regions, and then Dr. Bawumia is taking the rest. But of course, these are just numbers. He always ends like this: numbers tell us who is ahead.
That's what he said.
Yes, but strategy decides who stays ahead.
Why is he not making a bold, or he intends making a bold prediction maybe a lot later?
When he gets the full picture of the entire polls, he wants to then see.
Right.
Also, the front page of the Independent newspaper, Ofori-Atta is well and not in hiding. That's according to Frank Davis. People said it was in hiding. It never came across like that, did it? 4 persons killed as gunmen opened fire at NHI office at Garu, and Mahama Chief Justice AG and Auditor General strategize on report implementation. That's a good thing. Establishment of special courts to deal with these cases, infractions in the Auditor General's report, because a lot of times people say that to what end will...
that meeting as well was on a quiet because we had got wind that it was supposed to have happened about a week or two ago, and I think Komla Kluche had the opportunity to speak with the Auditor General, Mr. Acheampong, and he said the president was going to decide when that meeting was going to happen. Then yesterday we just got that notification from the government spokesperson that the meeting has happened and specialized courts are expected to be set up. So specialized courts for everything, or great that we're having these specialized courts, and I'm looking forward to what it can do, because it's not for a lack of court system or anything, but really these infractions continue to come up every now and then. It's a good thing.
Maybe because they were not being punished for the infractions, or they were not being forced to repay, although they tell them that they need to repay.
Yeah.
When the courts come in, then there's some, backing to it. That's why.
Perhaps we haven't averred our minds or checked whether or not any of these cases ended up in courts. That's the basis upon which I'm asking whether or not it will change anything. Because if it is the case that they've been going to court and it's delaying, and there are reports that it's delaying,
because of the number of cases in
then
the
I
courts.
know a specialized court helps speed up the process. But I don't recall hearing about these cases ending up in court. More often than not, we hear the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee say he's referred it to the Attorney General. They'll ask the police to pick up the individuals, and essentially almost always that's where it dies. So let's see what.
We have not been counsels before. There's a counsel here.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Good morning, lawyer.
It feels
from your experience.
Say it again.
Oh,
feels good.
It feels good, eh?
Feels good.
Please, from your experience as a lawyer, long time standing at the back.
It's a long time. It's not even 1 month. It's not even 1 month at the back.
What kind of trap is this?
In SHS, the day we left school, came to when we had gathered, they were advising and all of that. Somebody raised their hand and said, when we were students, the person finished the exam that morning.
Yeah, it's just when we were students.
When we were students.
It's a full time.
A lot of experience under his belt.
After 1 week.
Oh, hallelujah.
Yeah, a lot of experience. I mean, so the question we were asking, Sixtus, before you came in, the president met the Auditor General, the Attorney General, and then the Acting Chief Justice yesterday. The intention is to set up specialized courts to handle infractions from the Auditor General's report. And I'm saying off the top of my head, I don't recall a lot of these cases ending up in court, for which reason we will say. And I say this advisedly because I might not be fully aware of all of the facts. Is it the case that we've had an issue with prosecuting them due to the delay in court processes, or now the intention is that we want to prosecute them, and so we are setting up the special courts? Perhaps that's what the government is intending to do.
Okay, so let me give you long-standing experience from another experience, not the law. You see, in my previous employment, I was dedicated to following the public.
In your previous life?
In my previous life.
When he was not a lawyer.
Okay, so I continue. And every single year that the PAC sat on these reports, these concerns always came up. And I also identified myself with a civil society group called the Tax Justice Ghana, which also predominantly was concerned about the leakages in our financial systems, where you have a minister or a chief director or a teacher or an administrator who would either dish out money where they were not supposed to dish out. They would, and in some of the cases, to misappropriate. So the budgeted intent for the amount would be, say, buy furniture for the office, but they would decide to use it to fuel the MD's car, or they would give sponsorship to members of staff who will go and either run away, especially the ones that will take you abroad.
Yes.
They go on studies, then they run away. They say, sit there with your problems, I'm not coming back. And they won't pay the monies too. Or they will come back and leave the organization entirely. And the monies that were invested in their education, meaning that also would have gone down the drain. So all these things, and if you look at the category of infractions that usually would come up, they go beyond politicians. So the conversation has always been, in twofold. Why do we have a Public Accounts Committee of Parliament which sits annually, hears these things? In fact, at a point they were traveling across the regions.
Yes.
They will go to a region, hear all the institutions in that region, and collect their per diem, and scream at the
heads
people,
of the areas,
heads of the institutions, and come back to Accra, and nothing happens. So the conversation started from we redefining the role and powers of the Public Accounts Committee, so that we don't just have people hauled before the committee, they shout and they come back to Accra.
To talk about what is in the book that the people affected have read, have responded to already.
And in a lot of the instances, actually, the morning that the institution is hauled before the committee, that is the morning that the management will then, get responses to some of the serious infractions that have been raised in the report.
Not to cut you, but during this sitting of PAC, there was an instance like that.
You see,
somebody made payment or part payment the morning the agency was coming before the
exactly. Committee. So all these are things that have happened and are happening. And the other painful part is, so Crosby has been in that office for 3 years. Crosby chops his share of the national cake and runs away. You come to take over from Crosby, and then Auditor releases report. Then PAC says, you come and answer for the sins of Crosby.
That is what Muntaka Mubarak, the minister, was concerned about. He says that the people who were responsible, who were there when the faults happened, should come and respond. The defense of the defense of PAC, or the reasoning of PAC, the chairman, is that when you inherit the agency, you inherit it with the
problems and all of that.
You can't come and enjoy what they have done well and say that you don't want to pay attention to where they fell short.
I watched then Education Minister Matthew Opoku Prempeh. He did something that was commended by a lot of the people at the time.
When he came and he was asking the university's VCs to be answering our questions. Not
just university, the head teachers. So at PAC, he brought all of them down to Accra.
I recall that.
So when they pick your school, if they pick your school and it's that serious, they'll call you. He will sit there, then they'll ask the question. Then he'll tell and say, Mr. Chairman, he's here. He's answering. And if you make a mistake and do your body anyhow, he will shout at you, then you answer the question. You see, people must be held responsible for their own sins. Don't say because of what you are inheriting both liability and asset, because of that, then you are cooling off somewhere and somebody else is now the one sweating in an air-conditioned room on your behalf.
Dr. Mubarak, he was very passionate about that it should not happen.
No.
Somebody has come into office. There was somebody who was like 3 months old who was responding to infractions years ago.
The person was just 3 months old on the seat.
Yes.
So how is this person supposed to know what happened? The best the person will give you will be the paper response that is before the person. But then they dealing with the problem itself, we won't be able to deal with it. So the courts are an excellent idea. It's a beautiful idea. But let us look at how we can empower PAC to deal with the issue. See, Parliament's Privileges Committee, it has a standing of a high court. So if findings are made against you by the Privileges Committee of Parliament, your only recourse would be to appeal against that report. Or in our normal commissions of inquiry, if the president sets up a commission of inquiry to look into your dealings, the effect of that report is punitive enough to be able to disqualify you from certain actions or certain ambitions and aspirations.
It kills political ambition for you for a while.
Unless and until you take the necessary steps to set aside that report. And that is what we should begin to do. That persons
who outside of persons who have supervised or superintended over some of these cases within the various municipalities and district institutions, they should be denied opportunity to lead or head institutions ever again.
Yes. I mean, under our company laws, if you run a company bankrupt, you will never ever be allowed.
You can't be director.
You can't be a director.
I have to between 5 years.
Another company. So, and it comes back to this plea bargaining argument that we keep making as well, that the fact that you have been found guilty by the court of running a company bankrupt means that even if you pay back the money, there are still legal implications against you. So I would, in addition to setting up the special court, pray that we also empower PAC. So that PAC is not just a backing, what is the word? Backing bulldog. What's the word? Is that it? They say
a toothless bulldog.
That one.
Right,
that is the one I was looking for.
It's not lawyer English, so it doesn't.
But nothing happens.
Yeah.
We come back the following year, we go through the same ritual, then we are spending money on their.
So let's see what the courts do for us in terms of helping us get recoveries and all of that. These special courts would also have to be designed in a way as to abridge the times in dealing with. Yeah, there has to be timelines. Yeah, as to like when we had the fast track courts, which was expected to deliver in 6 months or so. We can have instances like that.
The same problem.
Yeah,
but
because
I understand through the activities of PAC Sixtus, we've been able to help the country recover some 12 million cedis from the Auditor General's report. So
it's good. It could be more.
Yes,
it could be more. It could be way more.
The fact is that if you pick the report and look at all the recorded leakages and you put it against the money that we go around begging for, there should be no reason we should be going around begging for money. We have the money.
An agency has to pay maybe like 70,000, and by the morning they are coming to the meeting, they have paid like 2,000. And then it's funny.
So it means that they have always been aware of the problem.
And then the report is not, I don't want to say it is current, but it is backdated.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you know it before you come.
You come.
But you want to act only when you are coming. Not as if you didn't know. Anyways.
And there was one, I think it's from my own region. I've forgotten the specific district, just the recent one, where the monies meant for the disabled. So the assembly went into the disability fund I've forgotten which district is it, but I'm sure it's from my region. The assembly went into the disability fund to finance a trip to Tamale, and I love what the committee did to this. I said I don't recall whether it was the DC or the accountant of the assembly. I watched a number of the clips from the last proceedings, and I was excited. I mean, we need to be tough on some of the infractions. Some of the infractions, as they come before you, you see that no, it is no fault of the person sitting before you.
Yeah.
But there are also other infractions. You ask yourself, I mean, how? How?
And there's this subtle thing there. The chairperson always says that, and you say politicians are corrupt.
Yes, and you say politicians are corrupt. What's her name? We need to celebrate her.
Madam Abena.
She has done so well with.
I mean, when you
no. The district assembly.
Your microphone. You have to speak. You have to speak into
the district local government committee hearings. The very recent one. It wasn't PAC. It was local government committee.
So
hearings.
the local. That's when the Ashanti regional minister and others were appearing before them and answering questions. I recall that's it as what happened in Parliament.
Yes, it happened.
They had to come from different parts of the country to be present and be a part. Let's go through the other newspapers quickly.
Okay. So I'll finish with the Daily Post newspaper. On the front page, banner headline: If a Chief Justice takes benefits she denied others, that's misbehavior. Okay, I read it again. If a Chief Justice takes benefits she denied others, that's misbehavior. That's according to Thaddeus' story.
Yeah.
The story is on pages 4, 6, and 8. Grab a copy and then read.
Yesterday, in my media monitoring, I caught an interview of him yesterday. It was quite interesting.
Well, you're surprised.
Yes, the man doesn't grant it.
It was a near an hour and 30 minutes. I actually paused what I was doing to take a listen because I know he barely grants interview. It was an interesting perspective as to what he introduced into the conversation surrounding the CJ and what have you, and what he believes is injustice he had done for a very long time. And he had a different
injustice who had done
injustice done
former Chief Justice,
his client actually. It was one of the bases. He's been accused of taking up the case of Mr. Daniel Ofori because it suited him in a way because he wanted the CJ removed. Apparently, he says that Daniel Ofori has been his client since 2008 actually, and they've walked a long journey together, and so he's always been the man's lawyer, and so there were no coincidences that he represented him again during the committee's hearing. You should take a listen to it a lot later. I'm sure that is the cue from which this newspaper headline has been curated. But let's get a bit more in terms of the other details so that we can get some money paid into our accounts quickly.
Yes, Ghana's favorite newspaper,
The Daily Guide.
The Daily Guide newspaper, only 8 Ghana. Bawumia best to lead NPP. Akosua Menu is the one speaking. 4 killed, others injured in Garu NHIA office attack. Can Acheampong tightens grip on NPP race? He's leading or he's tightening? Which is which?
No, we've gone through that pace already. Yes, there's a new report by Dr. Kumi Kusi. That's his name. Evans Kusi.
Yes.
Oh, this was yesterday.
Evans Dia
Kusi,
and says that Ken is taking a slight lead based on.
It's a significant lead.
It's a significant
Bawumia's is marginal, but Kennedy's is significant.
And he says he's an interested party, but this was neutral.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He's an interested party.
He's a member of the NPP.
Of the party, yes.
Yeah.
But his work was professional.
Yes, he says it was in the metal the standards of ethical research.
Okay.
The report is on one of our pages, so you could take a read. You could take a read for yourself as well.
Okay. Another pollster launched.
Finish the newspaper for us. Finish the newspaper for us.
Why is the man gagging?
No, I mean, I'm not gagging. I have to go somebody a poster when the person says he's not a poster.
I mean, we had two.
Okay. I'm just asking.
One has left the scene.
Who has left the scene?
Oh, Uncle Ben. We haven't been seeing
Our
polls. So maybe this
original.
one is filling a vacant.
But he doesn't want to be called a pollster.
He wants to be called a researcher.
In fact, a strategist.
Strategist.
A political strategist. Master stroke.
But he's not neutral.
No, he's a member of the NPP. I think
So when he has
he's
to do
a national poll.
a poll, not a research, involving other political parties, we can trust his credibility.
I mean, Musa Dankwa votes in elections.
The chairperson of the Electoral Commission
Also votes, and
So we are supposed to trust their decisions.
Okay. OSP hits Mustafa Hamid, 9 others with 29 more charges. This one there. They say, whether you like it or not, we'll catch you.
They say like, policeman wants to catch driver. Whatever you do, unless they don't want to catch you, he'll catch you. He'll ask you where's your handkerchief.
Yoni engages NYPD counterparts and comes with a picture of Attaché Abbas Golfrey, IGP Yohono, Commissioner Jessica Tish, COP Michael N. Frimpong, and ASP Sarah Mafo. That's it for the
Ghanaian Times: weeds choke Wager Dam spillway, communities risk flooding. That story on page 12 of the newspaper. Also, OSP increases charges against Mustafa Hamid, 9 others from 25 to 54. Will support VRA to ensure energy security. That's according to the minister. Also, we need 300 million cedis to dredge distilled water sources. That's according to the Ghana Water Company Limited. And then a special audit saves Ghana 8.1 billion cedis. Deputy Finance Minister is revealing this. That's Mr. Nyako Ampim has been speaking. Cocoa FEG present 81,000 hybrid coconut seedlings to farmers, and Early Green Women and Youth Agribusiness Exhibition Summit held in Accra. Also, news guide this morning: Azuma Resources transfers full ownership of concessions to ENP after receiving it's a news guide, 5 Ghana cedis.
Who's the editor?
Yeah. After receiving 100, I'm continuing with the Azuma headlines. Also, distortions and misinformation amplified in Dr. Etiahine's article on non-interest banking and finance. Digital credits. Momentum built up as BOG set to open applications early November. NPA set to achieve new heights as CEO outlines bold strategic vision. And Garden Chat. Mahama courts Michel support for UN motion on slavery reparations. And unfortunately, we cannot bring you Johnny's Bite today. But there's a bit more in terms of the tilapia moment. While we try to get the tilapia moment up, let's try and make a bit more in terms of money here on the 3FM Sunrise.
Yeah, X2, Chicago, represent 97, Volta. Yeah, check this out.
The best in the morning is on 92.7 Sunrise on 3.
Now, there's a world-class university right here in Ghana, Rosebank International University, a strong South African university and a brand of the AdvTech Group, Africa's largest private education provider with 146 schools across 5 African countries and over 100,000 learners, and partly owned by the World Bank through the IFC. Rosebank International University is fully accredited by the South African Qualifications Authority, the British Accreditation Council, GTech in Ghana, City and Guilds UK, and Capsicum Culinary Studio. At Rosebank International University, we offer a Doctor of Business Administration DBA, MBA, Master of Science and Master of Philosophy in Digital Marketing, Bachelor of Supply Chain Management, targeting professionals in freight forwarding, customs, etc. We offer hospitality and culinary arts, available at diploma, undergraduate and postgraduate levels. Our ICT has BSc Information Technology and Business Systems and IT Computer Application Development, all carefully designed to equip you with the skills and qualifications needed for a successful global career. Our mission is simple: inspiring excellence. Admissions are now open for January 2026. Visit our modern campus at Airport Commercial or Perbia House, Accra, or apply online at www.riuc.edu.gh. Rosebank International University, building global citizens.
The best in the morning is on 92.7 Sunrise on 3FM.
So we've got that out of the way. We have our tilapia moments for you as well as well the extra details from a number of these newspapers for you this morning. And again, apologies, no Johnny's Bites this morning as a result of quite a few in terms of interruptions in normal programming. But that's our tilapia moment. For those of us watching on Facebook, we can catch that quickly. And that's Kennedy Acheampong on his promise to spread out the respective ministries, because Accra is choked and the administrative functions is suffocating Accra. We see the Greater Accra region carrying all the ministries. He says he can't carry all. and so he's asking for support. But what do you make of this plan to spread the ministries across though?
Tilapia, he will not go to heaven.
Oh.
He's a very bad boy.
Yeah.
But I mean, like we were saying yesterday, it's the idea is nice. The idea is nice. We will need to spread development to other areas, because the truth is, when these agencies, these ministries, if some of them go to other places, those places will be developed. They'll get, they'll now be on the map. So the idea is nice, but when it comes to the implementation of the idea, that's where the problem will be. Accra is choked because of the resources in Accra. Accra is choked because the markets is there. People will travel from wherever they're coming from. They want to come and do business in Accra because the place may be suitable for business. Can we say the same for the other areas that the ministries will go to, unless we want to create markets for them? Imagine we're taking I'm just saying, if we take a ministry like the Attorney General, the Ministry of Justice to the North, are we able to build the North in a way that the ministry can function properly there and still represent the entire country? I think these are things that we should look at before we start. But the idea is nice. I'm sure he has maybe in his mind, Canadian Japan has put in place their roadmap to ensure that this happens. And
the race for the flag bearership is heating up as well. But yesterday we got to know that Esla Uswe-Kufu says she's throwing in
Jensen.
And deciding to be a part of the general secretary position. It looks like that race will also be very, very interesting, because so far 5 individuals.
It is telling me one thing, that the big wigs in the party, they just do not trust the leadership, the current leadership.
The current leadership
I think that's what it communicates from chairman in team to Joseph Repon-Kodia. They just think these people have not done enough, because the defeat they should be tended over. They think that they need to go a fresh energy, fresh wave of people should come and then lead the NPP into better days. Esla Osei-Kufu.
She's a strong woman.
Strong, tough woman.
Yeah, very, very. She's a former member of parliament. Yeah. I recall in the aftermath of that election, when she lost, I spoke to her.
The elections were all the people who danced.
I spoke to her, and she said, "Look, it's been a long time coming, and she was in need of that break. She was going to take that break, and she would decide her next course of action afterwards."
Now the decision has been
made. And now the decision. At the time, she told me that the people of Ablekuma West were already missing her, and even though it's been a hard task, she needed to just cool off and return to the political scene. She's returned after nearly a year, and with one clear thing in mind, that she wants to be General Secretary of the NPP. And we see as well how Akumsin says she's going for women organizer as well. And so all things being equal, we could see a lot more in terms of women representation in terms of the helm of affairs of the NPP in the top hierarchy.
Should I choose for them?
You want to choose for them? How do you want to choose? The delegates will vote.
Esla Osu as General Secretary. Sylvester Tete as Deputy General Secretary.
Is that how it works in the NPP?
What's his name? Ejako as National
Chair.
Yes. Nabila as National Youth Organizer. Eugene.
What are you basing your decisions on?
Character.
Oh, okay.
Forcefulness. Dexterity. Considering that the party is in opposition and is likely to be in opposition for a very long time, looking at what is happening now, if it continues.
It's too early in the day. I keep telling people.
If you get if this country, a party that is so sharply divided, that is how my beloved CPP started.
Yesterday,
we saw division never before they won a 2016 election.
With the NPP,
yes,
NPP has never been this sharply divided.
Oh, well,
are you sure?
No,
when there
even when there were 16.
No, I'm not even talking about 16. We saw fisticuffs, persons being beaten, and all of that at the party head office.
Every political party. I'm just saying
in that moment, the conversation was that if the party could not keep itself in order, how were we expecting them to govern over the country?
And I'm saying that it's never been this serious for the NPP. Well, it's a real test case for the NPP. A party that clearly lacks leadership. Anybody you talk to, if you understand our politics and you follow it, the NPP as we speak now is suffering from serious leadership crisis, which is probably one of the reasons they are rushing to do this.
Brian Acheampong also said it after his Greater Accra regional tour, when he was addressing the media. He said the challenge in the NPP can be solved with just proper leadership. Insinuating that the current leadership is just not.
That's a very interesting vote of no confidence.
The current leadership should have resigned en bloc.
You're not the only one. Yesterday I spoke to Dr. Samuel Ofori-Atta, who made the same argument, and a lot of people have made those arguments, but Justin Frimpong Kodia thinks otherwise. He's running.
Somebody says I should ask you Sixtus, so maybe Esla wins.
I hope it is not Farouk from Nima.
No, Esla wins the General Secretary of the NPP, and then Kennedy wins the flag bearer. How it's looking?
Oh, however you look at it, somebody will win from one camp and another person will win from one camp. But you see, I spoke about test of leadership and character. We know that is Paul Afoko running?
There were suggestions he might, but we haven't gotten word from him that he will.
If by this time I have not come out there,
then
it's still quite early days. Yesterday was when Esla declared her intention.
Even Esla, the first thing I saw about her was first vice chairman.
So you never know. I mean, and the idea has been mooted that Afoko could return for the chairmanship position, and so you cannot really tell. But you believe that Boakye Jaku being there is good enough in terms of the leadership.
Is focused. He has the interests of the UP tradition, not the.
There's a UP party now, so you have to be there, and they source the basis upon which, they source
the movement people, the UP plus. Oh no!
It's not UP plus. I'm not sure they'll be happy with you calling them UP plus.
That's what they said. That's what they said.
It's not like the party's name is UP plus, but just like iPhone and a plus.
So they are the
the plus,
the improved version of the original UP.
Oh my goodness!
It's pure diabol. They should have just maintained. The movement party.
They are a political party.
United Party. The mischief is too glaring. I mean,
somebody else.
But you were making a point. You were making a point before you veered off into UP about the individuals.
The test of character and leadership. Look, for a party in opposition, you need people who, number one, have a voice. That voice is respected. They are firm, decisive, and ready to act. You don't need a leader who doesn't seem sure of himself when you are in opposition, especially for a party like the NPP now in its current form, where you need to be sure that if you are taking disciplinary action against a member, that action is warranted. Number one, and number two.
Although there'll be consequences,
the consequences will be there, but you're also interested in enforcing discipline, so you are ready for the consequences. So you need such kind of leadership, people who know what they are about. You get it, and we can find that in a person like Boakye Jaku, that he's firm, that he understands where the party is now and where the party should be in 2027 before the election. He understands that. Somebody like Esla, strong personality, strong character, a person who is not afraid to take on anybody at all in the other party.
But the other names, and perhaps I want to go through the other names. We've seen Esla. Let's look at the other individuals who are just purposely for the General Secretary position. Justin Frimpong Kodia, you both think
Maybe in another era he could have.
I think he did not surround himself, not he personally, but the people surrounding him did not let him come off very, very well. It may not be entirely his doing.
People surrounding, who are
I mean, the entire leadership structure of the party.
So it couldn't bring the best out of him.
Out of him, that's exactly what I think.
So a victim of circumstance, sort of.
You know how many times Stephen Ntim contested the chairmanship position?
They take us for a hand inside.
Okay, so you'd both disapprove of Justin Frimpong Kodia.
He shouldn't even be contesting. I don't think he has the moral
rights. If for want of a better word, for want of a better word, he doesn't fit the bill now in terms of what
any of the current executive members contest anything.
Look, they have a position to hold on to. You are sitting on radio and you are saying they should not contest.
It's not about that.
You know, that's somebody's life. You are saying they don't have any right.
Something to hold on to. It's about organizing a political party. It's about
they are learning. They will learn and do better.
You have run a party into opposition.
Who is it opposition that nobody has gone before? That's an equal argument. That's an equal argument anybody can make.
Of your opposition.
Why? I mean, at the time, Johnson Ketia was general secretary when the party went into opposition. He stayed and he's brought the party back into power. And so, I'm just saying.
What was the character
at that time in 2016?
At that time in 2016,
that was the biggest election defeat we'd witnessed.
At that time.
So at that time.
Yes.
That's the point I'm making.
The biggest in the history.
Yes, at that time it was the biggest.
At this time.
It could be history.
Mustafa, another one bigger than this.
No, nobody. No, that's not what he means. But the point I'm making is, and I'm just trying to put a bit, because people say the supervisor over the West elections defeats this that. In the NDC, we saw Johnson Ketia as well.
General Mosquito led the NPP into opposition.
The NDC, you mean?
The NDC into opposition in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
The party also cracked up. There were divisions and there were
They did the Professor Kwesi.
They set up the factions here. They set up the committee.
Yeah, Professor Kwesi Bochu, right?
Committee.
Yes, they did.
Now we see the NPP, led by Kodia Frimpong, also leading his party into opposition, and straight away, unlike what we saw in 2016, in this particular case,
they can't bring it back.
No, in this particular case, you see 3 candidates or 2 candidates in the previous election going on supposed thank you tours. And those thank you tours, they were speaking at odds. Nobody was on the other side. It turned out the thank you tour was not a thank you tour. In fact, it didn't even end. That tour never ended. That tour rather created more problems for the party.
What if it's strategy?
Oh. What is what?
What if it's strategy?
Strategy by who?
No,
that tour should have been led by the party. It wasn't led.
Yes, it wasn't led by the party. It was led by the flag bearer of the 2024 elections.
Exactly.
And they were
if the leadership of the party was strong enough, they would have led the thank you tour and not allowed the candidates.
That's one point. The other point is, even if the flag bearer for other reasons was the one to lead the tour, we should have seen the party leadership rally around him.
The party leadership was there.
How many times did you see Chairman Ntim at any of those events?
He was until
how many times?
That's when we saw the release that he had to pull out of the tour because of health reasons.
Anyway, because they brought in health reasons, let's not go into that angle of it. But the man, in fact, the problems were there before the letter explaining the health reasons came up.
In fact, there are those who think that letter to explain his absence is a way he wants to run away from responsibility. Because, there's that school of thought. Saying that because of the health reasons, he wants to put that conversation aside. So because of that thinking, but they think the man did not do well, but because he's unwell, let's leave it small.
Okay, let's complete the list of individuals, because I will not want us to mention some and not mention others. Eugene Boakye is a former member of parliament for Subin.
Yes, for Subin. He's also strong.
Mike.
He's also strong. He's tough talking. Even at parliament level, you would often hear his voice on the uncomfortable issues. But when I put him
side by side,
put him by Eslaosu, put him by Sylvester Tete, for the moment, the times that the NPP is in, I will not.
This is a man who predicted the difficulties the party is witnessing today and called them out and said, look, the way we are going, it will not help us.
From this same studio, we predicted some of those issues.
But the others did not say it, and he said it and has consistently said there's a lot more the party should have done.
Boakye entry higher than Sylvester Tete. Yes.
No, that's why I said Sylvester Tete should be Deputy General Secretary.
Okay.
Because he's young, he's energetic, he's also fearless.
And that's Sylvester Tete for those of us on Facebook.
He's fearless. He understands the job also. And this is also a man who has tasted defeat several times. He is not scared of it. He knows what must be done, and he knows he has to take the bull by the horns. That is why I'll put him at the Deputy General Secretary position. So that somebody like him, if you are matching Mustafa Bandi, somebody like him can overdo a Mustafa Bandi. Do you get it? If you put Sylvester Tete and Bandi on a platform, they can do it boot for boot. If you put Eslaosu and Fifi on a platform, they can do it boot for boot. Don't forget, Fifi started off as propaganda secretary of the NDC.
That was some of us in our recollection of political events. He's one of the individuals we recall, because the press conferences were back to back for him.
And so there's not a single thing that the man doesn't have knowledge on. So if you look at Eslaosu, somebody like Eslaosu, you want to match. You are looking for somebody to match against Fifi. Then somebody like Esla will come up. Easy mention.
There's a last name on that slot. I want us to see Henry Kwabena Kokofu, former EPA boss and former Bantama member of Parliament.
No comment.
There's a let me say my comment.
No, you can't do this. You've had thoughts to share on everybody, so I think
his time.
I think based on what the party needs to get out of where it is, he does not have. I'm not saying he's not good enough,
but you believe. I believe from the basis of youth, all of the other candidates might not be exactly in the term youth, because in Ghana, it is only in Ghana where 50-something-year-old is said to be young and who understand the issues of young people and all of that. Based on that logic which we work with, then I think it doesn't do him a lot of good.
You are 70 and you have money and you can jog on Saturday. You are youth.
I'm just making that argument in terms of all the individuals he might be going up against. A lot more.
I think
young.
He more relates to
the chairmanship
process, the current type of the current leadership of the party. I think I see him in the same bracket as chairman in team,
yes.
In terms of character, perception, attitude, and all of that. That's what I see.
In terms of charisma.
Yes, charisma. That's so what I see. And that is not what the party
is. He's the kind of person that you need to bring level-headedness, sanity, some calmness.
Right.
So he can be on the Council of Elders. They can appoint him to the Council of Elders.
Maybe a Bentley wants to avoid relegation. They'll go and appoint some coach who can just come in. It's not to take them up, just to keep them safe somewhere.
So, verdicts in terms of the studio and the conversations on the General Secretary position, who would you tip?
I still stand with my original pair.
Esla. And then Slide. Right.
And you?
I take Esla and Eugene.
Esla and Eugene. I don't know how it works for the NPP, but I think the Deputy General Secretary position is appointed. I don't know if any of these individuals
they have the appointed and they have the elected. You have a Deputy General Secretary in charge of.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That for the Deputy General Secretary, because Haruna Mohammed is an appointed position,
yes.
if I'm not mistaken, and so I don't see how
administration.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the other one in charge of operations.
Right. Let's thank you very much, gentlemen. It's just 29 minutes past 7. Let's hear from listeners, community voices, just quickly on all of the issues we've been bringing to them, and then